Welcome back to TPS. When it comes to discussing the best players in the NFL, it's easy to focus mainly on the quarterback position while ignoring the others. But in our opinion, quarterbacks get more than enough love these days. On this list, we're looking at the absolute best of the best in the NFL who aren't quarterbacks. Here are our rankings for the top 25 non-QB players in the NFL for 2020. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. Number 25, Derrick Henry. He's coming off one of the best running back seasons in recent memory. Henry won the rushing title with 1,540 yards and a career-best 16 touchdowns. He and Ryan Tannehill led the Tennessee Titans to the AFC Championship game last season, ending the New England Patriots dynasty before eliminating MVP Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Can't wait to see what Henry can do for an encore. Number 24, Nick Bosa. The number 2 overall pick in the 2019 draft came every bit as advertised. He was a beast for the San Francisco 49ers, recording 9 sacks en route to a Defensive Player of the Year award. He almost guided the 49ers to their first Super Bowl in a quarter century, too. The future is bright for this kid. He's only going to get better from here. 23, TJ Watt. He's not just the younger brother of J.J. Watt. The Pittsburgh Steelers star followed up his 2018 breakout year with another phenomenal showing in 2019, finishing with a career-best 14.5 sacks. That placed Watt in a tie for 4th in the entire NFL. For those who aren't keeping track at home, Watt has 27.5 sacks over his last 2 seasons. Can you say beast? 22, Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey's stock has taken a bit of a hit following his ugly departure from Jacksonville, but he still earned his 3rd straight Pro Bowl selection while helping to improve the Los Angeles Rams secondary. According to Pro Football Reference, Ramsey allowed just 1 touchdown pass in the entire 2019 season. He'll be more accustomed to the Rams' defensive schemes now, so expect Ramsey to play like the dominant All-Pro player we saw in 2017. Number 21, Quenton Nelson. Nelson was ranked as the 11th best overall player by Pro Football Focus for 2019. He surrendered 0 sacks last season, and PFF graded him as the 2nd best run-blocking guard. He has 2 Pro Bowls and a pair of first-team All-Pro selections in his first 2 seasons. Nelson is pretty much everything you want in an offensive lineman. 20, Mike Evans. Now that Evans has to share the ball with Chris Godwin and newcomer Rob Gronkowski, he may struggle to put up the same monster stats we saw from 2014 to 18. Still, he's one of the game's premier playmaking wideouts, and Tom Brady is going to do wonders with him. In 2019, Evans joined Hall of Famer Randy Moss as the only receivers to record 1,000 yards in each of their first 6 NFL seasons. Evans' tremendous size, strength, and world-class athleticism make him a nightmare to cover one-on-one. 19, Jamal Adams. It's too bad the New York Jets have wasted his early years. Otherwise, Jamal Adams will receive even more respect as one of the NFL's elite defensive backs. Adams earned his first of what will be many first-team All-Pro nods. He was a second-team All-Pro in 2018. As far as safeties go, he's the complete package. His coverage skills are elite, and he's dangerous as a pass rusher. He had 6.5 sacks alone in 2019. Did we mention he's a safety? Adams also had 25 passes defended through his first 3 NFL seasons. That's a premier ball hawker, all right. Number 18, Von Miller. 2019 was a down year for Miller, but do consider that 1, he was learning a new defense under rookie head coach Vic Fangio, and 2, sidekick Bradley Chubb missed all but 4 games. Miller is still one of the NFL's top game-changing pass rushers, and he will reassert himself as a Defensive Player of the Year candidate in 2020. 17, Myles Garrett. If you can forget about the ugly incident that ended his 2019 campaign, you'll remember Garrett as one of the NFL's elite defensive players. So far, Garrett has fully lived up to expectations as the first overall pick from the 2017 draft, 30.5 total sacks and 6 forced fumbles in 37 games through his first 3 seasons. Garrett has emerged as the face of the Cleveland Browns franchise, and he'll be instrumental in their hopeful future success. 16, Ezekiel Elliott. It's easy to make a case for Zeke as the NFL's best running back. He won the rushing title in 2 of his first 3 seasons, and he had another productive year for a disappointing Dallas Cowboys club in 2019. Elliott finished with 1,357 yards and 12 touchdowns, keeping the Cowboys' offense afloat for most of the season. Once again, he'll be a primary contender for the rushing title, and new head coach Mike McCarthy will lean on him aplenty in 2020. 15. Richard Sherman. Just when it looked like Sherman was well past his prime in 2018, he turned back the clock and put forth one of his best seasons yet. Sherman owned a second-team All-Pro selection after helping the 49ers reach Super Bowl 54. He was also ranked as PFF's third-best player for the 2019 season. Sherman gave up a lowly 45.3 passer rating and only 227 total receiving yards in the regular season. In other words, the former Legion of Boom superstar is still as good as ever. 14. Ryan Ramczyk. He allowed 0 sacks during the 2019 regular season, and Pro Football Focus gave him the best regular season run blocking grade at 91.8. He's a primary reason why Drew Brees has managed to sustain a high level of play into his 40s. But because he's only one of the many big-name stars on New Orleans, he's always overlooked. People only want to talk about Brees or the skill position players, but not Ramczyk. Allowing 0 sacks while dominating at that level in the run blocking game? Ryan is as good as they come, and he should start getting more recognition in 2020. 13. J.J. Watt. Injuries have unfortunately derailed the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year as of late. Watt was limited to 3 games in 2016, 5 games in 2017, and 8 games in 2019. Imagine how much better these Houston Texans would be if they had Watt on the field for a full season. He's not on Aaron Donald's level anymore, but Watt is still a dynamic game changer when healthy. Once again, he'll be asked to carry an otherwise extremely flawed Houston defense. 12. Travis Kelce. It was another excellent season for the Kansas City Chiefs Pro Bowl tight end. Kelce played a prominent role on the Chiefs' high-flying offense, helping them win their first Super Bowl in half a century. Kelce hit the 1,000-yard mark for the 4th straight season, and his Chiefs are in primary position to compete for many more Super Bowls. It'll be fun to watch Kelce and George Kittle battle it out for the title of the best tight end in the league. 11. Zach Martin. Complain about Jerry Jones all you want, but he hit a grand slam with the Zach Martin pickup in 2014. All the latter has done is earn Pro Bowl selections in each of his first 6 seasons, along with 4 first-team All-Pro nods. Martin has been a shining star on the Cowboys' elite offensive line. He didn't allow a single sack in 2019, and he was only penalized twice. We're not saying he's perfect, but for an offensive lineman, he's pretty darn close. 10. Bobby Wagner. With Luke Kuechly retired, there's a stronger case to be made that Wagner is the NFL's best linebacker. 6 Pro Bowls and 5 first-team All-Pro selections do speak for themselves, right? Even with the Legion of Boom era long gone, Wagner's dominance has kept the Seattle defense afloat. He'll be instrumental in helping them try to add that second elusive Lombardi trophy in 2020. Number 9. DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins has been a top 3 receiver in the NFL for the better part of the last 5 years now. We'll never understand why the Texans traded him to the Arizona Cardinals for a minimal return, but that's for another day. D-Hop will continue to take over games with his slick hands and elite athleticism. And with Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray suddenly in the fold, Hopkins' numbers should only get better in the desert. Number 8. Chandler Jones. Like a fine wine, Jones only seems to get better with age. He's one of the few players who's actually gotten better since leaving Bill Belichick's Patriots. Jones led the NFL with 17 sacks in 2017. Jones has now recorded double-digit sacks in 5 straight seasons and 6 of the last 7 overall. Can you say underrated? This guy is a monster. Number 7. Khalil Mack. For the first time since his rookie year, Mack failed to reach double-digit sacks, but history shows he'll bounce back. 8.5 sacks and 5 forced fumbles is only considered a down year for someone of Mack's caliber. The 2016 Defensive Player of the Year will be a front-runner for the award again in 2020. A full year of familiarity in Chuck Pagano's defense should help Mack bounce back big time. 6. Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey had one of the greatest running back seasons in NFL history, joining the elusive 1,000/1,000 club alongside Roger Craig and Marshall Faulk. McCaffrey did all of this on a sluggish Carolina offense that only had Cam Newton for 2 games last season. With 1,387 rushing yards and 15 rushing touchdowns to go along with the ridiculous 116 receptions, 1,005 receiving yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns, the All-Pro running back is essentially the Panthers' entire offense in 2019. Don't expect it to be much different in 2020. 5. Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore won the Defensive Player of the Year award last season, a rarity in this day and age for defensive backs. He yielded a passer rating of just 48, and he allowed a completion percentage of 50.5 when targeted. Gilmore earned his second straight first-team All-Pro nod, and his 6 interceptions were tied for the league lead. Tom Brady may be gone, but Gilmore will make sure this Patriots defense remains among the league's top units. 4. Julio Jones. The Atlanta Falcons continue to take more and more steps backwards, but it's not at all the fault of Jones. He and Matt Ryan are one of the league's premier quarterback-receiver duos. Jones, who led the NFL in receiving during the 2018 season, finished second only to Michael Thomas in 2019. Expect another monster year for Jones, even if the Falcons don't inch anywhere close to Super Bowl contention. 3. George Kittle. Pro Football Focus actually ranked Kittle as the best player for 2019, giving him a final grade of 95. They noted that this was the best grade ever for a tight end too. Kittle didn't top the 1,377 yards he posted in 2018, the most ever in a single season for a tight end, but he was still a game-changing weapon in the passing game, and his dominance as a run blocker cannot be stressed enough. Kittle came up with clutch plays time and time again for San Francisco in 2020. With all due respect to Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews, Kittle has to be considered the best tight end in the NFL right now. There are 0 flaws in his game. 2. Michael Thomas. Few players have dominated a single season like Thomas did in 2019. His 149 receptions in 2019 are a single season record, and he easily led the NFL with 1,725 receiving yards en route to an Offensive Player of the Year award. Thomas has opened up his career with 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. If he can hit the feat in 2020 and 2021, Thomas will join Mike Evans and Randy Moss as the only receivers to hit 1,000 yards in each of their first 6 NFL campaigns. Oh, and he's hit 100 receptions in each of the last 3 years. Sorry, Julio, but you no longer hold the title as best receiver in the league next to MT. Number 1, Aaron Donald. Who else was it gonna be? Not only is he the best non-quarterback in the NFL, but Donald might just be the best player in football, period. 6 straight Pro Bowl selections to start your career will do nicely, and he's a 5-time first-team All-Pro. Donald, a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, is just 2 seasons removed from a career-high 20.5 sack season. He fell to 12.5 sacks in 2019, which is actually a disappointment by his standards. He'll surely push for 20 again in 2020. Donald draws a plethora of double teams because he's simply unblockable one-on-one. But even with 2 or sometimes 3 guys draped all over him, it still doesn't stop him from taking over games. There simply isn't a better defensive player right now, and it'll be a long time until somebody takes that honor away from him. Who do you think is the best non-QB player in the NFL right now? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, then like the video, we'd really appreciate it. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do that by hitting that subscribe button down there as well. And last but not least, don't forget to tune into TPS every single day for more cool videos. We'll see you next time.